Hello everyone, and welcome back to Coronavirus Corner. They've published the Russia report and it doesn't say anything about the Brexit referendum, but apparently that's because they didn't bother looking at that, which is very hard to believe because they were investigating voting patterns. As we walked along the beach that evening, I was finding Gavin hard to believe as well. I thought he might quieten down if we talked about work, so I asked him what kind of things he used to design, and he said mostly shelving, which sounded a bit strange for an architect. He kept smiling at me and trying to link arms, and I kept pushing him away. And suddenly he got this look in his eye, and he pushed me back really hard. Oh! No man does that to me. For all his faults, Charlie would never have laid a finger on me, except for rubbing my feet with Vic when I had a cold. I looked at him and I said, "Is that why Angela left you? Did you give her a black eye?" And he looked like a deflated space hopper, and I felt furious. How dare he come back up here and pretend I'd been the love of his life? I didn't trust myself to speak. And then he said, "You don't understand, Edna. It's you I want." And I began to wonder if he'd been drinking. Couldn't he see I wasn't interested? "Just go away, please, Gavin," I said, very politely, because there's no point being rude unless you have to, is there? I remember Auntie Nancy once got mooned at on a train full of football fans, and she just inclined her head and said, "Very nice, dear. Don't let it get cold." I tried to channel her, and I looked him straight in the eye, and I said, "It's not going to happen, Gavin." And he stood on the beach, and he screamed like a toddler having a tantrum. He looked utterly ridiculous. He obviously had something wrong with him, and I didn't fancy staying around to see what would happen next, so I set off up to the candy floss stall. I must have looked like a mother with a giant baby in a paddy, ignoring it and waiting for it to blow over. But it didn't blow over. I could hear him running up behind me, still shouting, and I started running too. And I wasn't very far from the stall, and I know the owner, so I wasn't too worried. But it was stressful. My knees were grumbling with every step. I'm not built for speed. I was looking at the sand so I wouldn't trip, and then I glanced up and I saw Maureen and Eric walking down from the car park, and I breathed a sigh of relief and slowed down a bit. And Gavin, who hadn't seen them, kept running, and he grabbed my arm and yanked my shoulder, and I screeched because it hurt. And suddenly someone punched him in the face, and he fell backwards and lay there with his eyes half open. You could almost see the cartoon birds tweeting round his head. And I turned round, and there was Charles. Today's sensible tip is, never be rude unless it's unavoidable. And the same goes for punching people in the face. But sometimes you need to. You take care, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.